Shedeur Sanders' NFL debut didn't go how Cleveland Browns fans had been dreaming, and the aftershocks from Sunday's 23-16 loss to the Baltimore Ravens are still ringing loud. Dillon Gabriel exited early with a concussion, and the Browns turned to Shedeur Sanders for his first regular season action. What followed was a rough baptism. Sanders finished 4 for 16 for 47 yards, threw an interception, fumbled after taking an early sack, and was sacked multiple times as the Ravens' pass rush immediately made him feel the speed and violence of the pro game. A few flashes, a couple of catch-and-run completions, and a near touchdown that was broken up in the end zone hinted at upside, but the overall line told the story of a rookie pressed into a game he wasn't prepared for. The Ravens closed the book in the fourth quarter, and the Browns' final drive ended in controversy. Cleveland faced 4th and 5 from the Baltimore 25 with just over a minute left, one stop from a game-tying opportunity. Replays and players on the Browns' sideline contended the Ravens jumped offsides, disrupting the play and contributing to the pressure that blew up the 4th down attempt. Officials didn't throw a flag. The missed call sent players and coaches into visible frustration, and it's the kind of ending that will keep talking heads and social feeds buzzing for days. Beyond the box score and the missed call, there are bigger pictures to manage. Head Coach Kevin Stefanski reiterated that Dillon Gabriel remains the starter once he clears concussion protocol, but that answer barely calms the noise. The Browns, sitting deep in the loss column, recruited both Gabriel and Sanders this year with different expectations. Gabriel as the short-term development project, Sanders as the high-ceiling wildcard. Sunday exposed the practical problem of handling 2 rookie quarterbacks in one season. One needs every first-team rep to grow. The other got a half a game under duress and will now be judged off that half. On the field, the Ravens' defense deserves credit. They flipped the script after halftime, forced turnovers, and made the plays when it mattered. And a little extra shade was tossed in Sanders' direction. Safety Kyle Hamilton dramatized a watch celebration after drilling Sanders on a sack, a moment that landed on social and only amplified the rookie's rough afternoon. What does all this mean for Shedeur Sanders? One appearance doesn't define a career, but it does shape perception. Stepping into a game without first-team reps for the week against a disciplined Baltimore defense produced predictable growing pains, holding the ball too long, taking sacks, trying to force plays, and a few mechanical misses. To be fair, some throws were tight window attempts and a dropped interception could have flipped the narrative. But the truth is the Browns didn't prepare him for a clean launch, and the tape will be used both to criticize and to coach. From the team's POV, this weekend gives them clarity. If Dillon Gabriel clears protocol, he starts next week. If he doesn't, Sanders will get his first true full week preparation as the number 1 and a chance to show what he can do. That's a huge difference. The Browns have to decide whether they want to accelerate Sanders' development with real reps and responsibility, or whether they'll keep letting Gabriel take the majority of the reps and only hand Sanders ad hoc NFL lessons under game pressure. And then there's the officiating drama. The missed offsides on the final play is the kind of sequence that fuels conspiracy threads and legitimate critiques of replay and crew mechanics alike. Whether it's fixing angle issues, improving communication to the line, or simply being more willing to make a hard call in crunch moments, fans and teams expect better. For the Browns, the call stings because it came at a moment when everything on offense needed to go right. Bottom line, Shedeur Sanders' debut was rough but not fatal. It revealed why teams protect rookie quarterbacks from being rushed into live fire, and why fans clamoring for immediate drama often get impatient with the slow, messy work of development. Cleveland now faces a fork. Stick with Gabriel and keep trying to develop him as the long-term answer, or give Sanders the structured first-team reps every young QB needs to actually show whether he can be franchise-worthy. Sunday answered one question: that Sanders isn't yet ready to be judged on a half of football, but it created several more that will drive the Browns' next week of decisions. If you want more breakdowns like this, quick game takeaways, what the tape actually shows, and how these moments shape a season, hit like and subscribe. I'll be watching the injury reports and practice notes all week, and we'll see how Cleveland answers. Short update plus what actually happened, why it matters, and ready to post lines you can use. Quick summary. On Cleveland's final play, 4th and 5 from Baltimore's 25, the Browns claim a Ravens defender jumped early and affected the snap, but officials didn't throw a flag. The defensive pressure that followed blew up the 4th down try, sealing the game. Browns players, notably Wyatt Teller and coach Kevin Stefanski, were visibly furious. Stefanski afterwards said he thought the Ravens were offsides. Shedeur Sanders, making his debut, also spoke after the game about the drive. The call or non-call is the key controversy. Hack, why this matters, rules and practical effect. What offsides is, a defensive player crosses the neutral zone before the snap or is lined in the neutral zone at snap time. It's a pre-snap penalty that usually results in a 5-yard defensive penalty and an automatic first down. Why it can't be fixed now. Pre-snap penalties like defensive offsides are not reviewable after the play in the NFL. The on-field officials must call them in real time. Coaches can't challenge that non-call on replay. The only immediate remedy would have been an official noticing it and tossing a flag. Practical impact. If the flag had been thrown, Browns would likely have gotten new downs and a fresh chance to tie. Because it wasn't called, the pressure led to an unsuccessful play and the game ended. The only post-game options are league/officials review and possible public explanation, not altering the result. Likely next steps. Browns will publicly press the officiating crew and may ask the league for an explanation. The NFL could later release a statement or grade the officials. Rarely does this change a game outcome. The moment will fuel calls for clearer officiating or expanded review rules, but rule changes don't happen overnight. Short social copy you can use. 1. Outraged. Awful no call. Ravens clearly jumped offsides and the refs let Cleveland's chance to tie slip away. That non-call decided the game. Browns, NFL. 2. Analytical. Final play review. If an offsides flag had been thrown, Browns get a fresh set of downs. It wasn't called and pre-snap penalties aren't reviewable. Tough break, Browns. 3. Neutral informative for newsroom. Stefanski says Ravens were offsides on Browns' final play. Officials didn't call it. Pre-snap penalties aren't reviewable, meaning the result stands. 25 to 40-second videos, IG Reel X short script. Shot list, clip of final play, reaction shot of Teller Stefanski, brief Shedeur quote, replay freeze on pre-snap. Controversy to end the game. Browns need just over 5 yards on 4th and 5 from the Ravens' 25. Watch the line before the snap. Freeze on replay. That looks early. Officials didn't throw a flag. Coach Kevin Stefanski said after the game he thought Baltimore jumped. Rule note, defensive offsides is a pre-snap call and isn't reviewable, meaning the non-call stands and the Browns lose. Players were furious on the sideline. Expect the Browns and the league to address this one in the coming days.